There's going to be times when we're going to want to factor a Boolean expression into a product of terms. So factor Boolean expression to product of sums. All right, so we're going to use the same theorem that we had done in a previous item of factoring, but we're going to use it in the reverse way. So last time we looked at having x plus y and with an x bar plus z. And we said that is xz plus x bar y. And for us, that's useful as we multiply out. Flipping it around is going to be a little bit more useful for us if we want to factor. So if we want to look at it as xz plus an x bar y, we want to see that it can move into being factored into two terms with a sums. Okay, so we're going to take that principle and let's start there. All right, so let's do an example. In this example, we're going to look at AC, or A bar, BD bar, or A bar, BE, or A bar, C bar, DE. Okay, and we're going to start from here. First step I'm going to do is, I see I have a lot of A bars. If I have a lot of A bars, I want to factor out that term. So I want to factor out A bar. So if I do that, I'm going to say I'm going to have AC plus A bar, and I'm going to pull out those terms. So it'll be ANDed with the quantities of BD bar, or BE, or C bar, DE. Okay, so that was the first step that I wanted to do. Next, I'm going to look at this A and the A bar. All right, so I'm going to say A is my X. I'm going to say C is my Z, because again, I'm using this property up here. I'm going to have that ORed with X bar, and then everything in this parentheses becomes my Y. Okay, and then that's going to turn into X plus Y, X bar plus Z. All right, so let me sub back in. So my X is A. What's my Y? My Y is BD bar plus BE plus C bar DE. All right, and then X bar is A bar plus Z, which is C. So I have this last term that's in product of sums form already. I got to work a little bit on the inner, that big term. So what I'm going to want to do with that bigger term is I want to break it up into a couple of different pieces. The first piece I'm going to do is, I see I have a B and a B. Let me factor that out. So let me change that into A plus B D bar plus E plus a C bar DE. All right, so let me do that piece. Then I'm going to rewrite this section. I'm going to rewrite it, and I'm going to do it as A plus C bar DE plus B D bar plus E. I'm rewriting it that way when I do the substitution. It's a little bit easier to see what I'm going to do. I want a sum of products term. So I want stuff with pluses. So I'm going to take this A plus CDE. I'm going to make that X. I'm going to make the Y, the B, the Y, and then this D plus E. I'm going to make that Z. All right, so I'm going to do that. What do I want that term to become? I want it to become X plus Y, X plus Z. Okay, so I'm going to substitute back in now. My X was A plus C bar DE. What's my Y? My Y was B. X is A plus C bar DE plus my Z, which is the Z term is D bar plus E. All right. Then I keep this A bar plus C. What I want to do now, let me highlight this in green. I'm going to be looking at these two terms right here. They both share an E. Since they both share an E, I'm going to pull out that E. All right, so I'm going to pull out that E. So I want it to be E C bar D plus, I have E by itself, so that's a 1. All right, so I have that item plus this D bar. Okay, so here, if I have OR 1, that all becomes a 1. So that is A plus E ended with a 1 plus D bar. And then this E with a 1, that could just become an E. All right, and then the other terms follow down as well. No modifications there. Okay, so I got 2 terms into the sum of products already. So that's making progress. All right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to rewrite this first term. I'm going to rewrite it as A plus B plus C bar DE. And then the rest of the terms get written down. All right, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take A plus B, I'm going to make that X. I'm going to take C bar and make that Y, DE and make that a Z. So I want to get X plus Y, X plus Z. All right, so let me substitute in. X is A plus B plus Y is C bar. That's good. That's another product of sum terms. A plus B plus DE. I'm getting closer. And then the other terms get written down the exact same. Now again, I'm going to take this A plus B, I'm going to make that X. I'm going to take D to make it a Y, E to make it a Z. Change that out to X plus Y, X plus Z. So I get A plus B plus C bar. X is A plus B, Y is D, X is A plus B, Z is E. And then the last 2 terms come down. And now everything is in sum of products, product of sums. Everything is just single ORs together. All right, let's do another example. Okay, in this example, we're going to do AB ORed with A bar, B bar, C, plus B bar, C bar, D, plus B, C bar, D bar. And the first thing I'm going to do is I want to see that I can get terms grouped together. I have an A, a B bar, and a B bar. Let me factor those items out. I factor out. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep A plus B together. I'm going to move this term in the back forward. So I get B, C bar, D bar, plus, and now with the yellow terms, I'm going to pull out the B, and then I'll get A bar C ORed with C bar D. Next item is, again, I'm going to do the same thing with the B on the first 2 terms. I'm going to pull that out. So if I pull that out, it will be B ANDed with A or C bar D bar, ORed with B bar, A bar C plus C bar D. Okay, now that I have these items together, what I'm going to look for is I want everything to be in a product of sums at the end. And at the end, I'm looking for something like A plus B plus C plus D. And I'm looking for single terms. Okay, so if I'm going to look for single terms, let me try to get there as fast as I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this A. I'm going to say A is X, C bar is Y, and D bar is Z. And I can say that's X plus Y, X plus Z. Okay, so I'm going to substitute back in. Here's B. Now, and I have parentheses because that term is in parentheses. So the first one is X plus Y, A plus C bar. And then the next one is X plus Z, so A plus D bar. All right, and then the second term just gets written down directly as well. Now, on the second term, what I'm looking to do is I am seeing that, let me get a different color here. I am seeing that I have a C and a C bar. Okay, I'm going to say C bar is X bar. I'm going to say C is X. So then I'll turn in A into Z, and I'll turn D into Y. So I have XZ plus X bar Y, and that gets factored out to X plus Y, or X bar plus Z. All right, so the first term gets copied down directly. Okay, next term, here's the B bar, and now I'm going to do the substitution. X is C, plus Y, Y is D. And then I got X bar, so that's C bar plus Z, which is A bar. Okay, so I'm doing good on separating out terms. Next item, I want to do the same thing now with this B. I'm going to say B is X, B bar is X bar. This whole term in parentheses will be Z. This other term in parentheses, that is my Y. And that would turn into X plus Y, X bar plus Z. So let me do the substitution now. First parentheses, X is B. That is ORed with Y, which Y is C or D, C bar or A bar. And then the next term is X bar, so that's B bar plus what's in Z, which is A plus C bar, A plus D bar. All right, so I'm getting closer to being product of sums. Now what I want to do is I want to take this B to be X. I want to take C plus D to be Y, C bar plus A bar to be Z. So I got an X plus YZ. That gets turned into X plus Y and an X plus Z. Same thing is going to happen. I'm going to do it together. In blue here, I'm going to say B bar is X. A or C bar is Y. A plus D bar, that's my Z. Turn that into X plus Y, X plus Z. All right, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to substitute back in. Let me do it in red. That way you can see everything come out. X is B. Y is C plus D. X is B. Z is C bar plus A bar. All of those are now product of sums. In blue, here X is B bar plus the Y. The Y is A plus C bar. And then I got X again, which is B bar, plus my Z, which is A plus D bar. And now we're in a product of sums. So we can see of how we're going to go through steps. We're going to kind of see, can we combine and factor items out together? Then we're going to use the properties of this XZ, X bar Y. That ends up being very useful for us. Remember, if we didn't use that, sometimes we could get extra terms that are difficult to remove. So now you got a good idea of how to do the factoring out to product of sums.